Hello everyone, this is ponderonweather coming at you with another update. In this update, we're talking about some severe impacts with a major tornado outbreak. So before I do get started, if you do like weather-related content, please subscribe to my channel as I will upload daily updates to keep you ahead of the storm. And I do ask you to share this video with your friends and family on social media, right? So let's get started. Here's the latest satellite picture as of this morning, March the 25th. And we've had two powerful storm systems. The first moved across the Dallas-Fort Worth area and around Texas last night with some definitely severe weather. They had some severe hail out in Canton, was baseball size hail. That system is continuing to lift northward this morning and bringing rain into Oklahoma and Arkansas, as well as Missouri, into Illinois. Already pouring in Tennessee and much of Alabama here, and getting into the coast of the Carolinas and Virginias. So this is also a very active system, but we're watching this second low-level jet down here, down to the south here. That's really going to get its act together later on this afternoon and produce, unfortunately, another severe outbreak for the southeast. So let's get right into it. Here is the latest Storm Prediction Center update. This is almost historic, guys. I mean, back-to-back high risk, just a week apart. The last time this has actually happened, two times in March, was back in 1991. So it's been this is really rare territory that we're in. Even talking about another high risk day. So yeah, if you live in the areas and Huntsville, Alabama, getting into Decatur, Alabama, much of Madison, into Tupelo, Mississippi, Florence, Alabama, you're under the gun for the highest risk of supercell thunderstorms, large-scale tornadoes, and damaging winds. And then right on the outskirts of Memphis, Tennessee, getting into Nashville, Birmingham, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is the latest update as of 8 a.m. from the Storm Prediction Center. This is right off the press of the newest advisory. And then even have a moderate risk for a good chunk. So we got a whole swath from Louisiana going into northwestern the panhandle of Florida, getting into parts of Georgia here, and much of Tennessee. This is going to include much of Tennessee, not just the west, parts of the east this time with this outbreak, and even extending further northward into portions of the Ohio Valley as well, impacting Kentucky. So this whole area is going to be under the gun and be susceptible for a severe major tornado outbreak later on today. Let's go over the tornado parameters for this latest outbreak. Yeah, we've got a 30%. That basically means you have a 30% chance of a potential tornado within 25 miles of your home of a certain point. So, and this is a huge area. So this is a great concern. We could be picking up numerous tornadoes. I went back and looked at the data from last week, and they're still assessing the damage because it takes a while to assess all the damage. We're talking up to 70 tornadoes now. We had 61 on the 17th and 9 on the 18th. So yeah, with 70 tornadoes with that outbreak, and this outbreak looks every bit of it and more, unfortunately, because here's the latest wording from the Storm Prediction Center. I mean, they were looking for scattered to numerous thunderstorms are expected from midday through the afternoon over parts of the lower Mississippi Valley region and the Mid-South. This activity will race northeast while maturing into supercells and bow echoes. Tornadoes are the main concern. Some strong and violent tornadoes. This is the official wording from the Storm Prediction Center. Also, severe non-tornadic winds may exceed up to 65 knots. So some really very strong winds and sporadic large hail, damaging hail if possible. So this is a significant day, so you need to keep your weather radio handy and listen for all watches and warnings coming out because it's really going to start getting active as we go just in the next couple of hours here. I mean, especially as we go into this afternoon and going into tonight. Here's the latest HRRR model. Just in the next couple hours later on this morning. Yeah, it shows that widespread scale activity up to the north, down here to the south here in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama here. in parts of Georgia. This is a little bit more of a main concern. We're looking for a discrete supercells, forming as we get later on into the day. As we take it into that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock time frame, you can definitely see we're seeing numerous discrete, isolated supercell thunderstorms, and that is not a good sign that these continue to rotate and become long track. Because I mean, the training of these and the updraft of this system is substantial. So it's got a great inflow from this particular event to create towering thunderstorms 40, 50, 60,000 feet up in the air to produce that larger hail. And the split in the atmosphere is going to make these turn tornadic. And unfortunately, some of these could be long track tornadoes, if not violent and wedge tornadoes. So definitely, this is a major impact day, unfortunately, later on this afternoon. I mean, look at the dew points that we're working with here into parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, parts of Georgia, and the Panhandle. Anywhere, really, you need 60, 65. But when you're talking 70, 72 degrees, yeah, I mean, that's ample moisture in the air to fuel these thunderstorms as this continues to lift up. I mean, look at Western Tennessee, look at Kentucky, going into the even parts of Illinois and Ohio. So there's a lot of moisture in the air that will continue to press further northward as we go throughout the day. So here's your latest significant tornado parameter. Yeah, I mean, the chart only goes to 10. I mean, when you see scales of, almost off the chart, if not over the chart, that's some serious risk. I mean, that is a significant day for a good chunk. I mean, look at this. This is Mississippi, Alabama, get into Georgia, into parts of the Panhandle, Western Tennessee, Kentucky. I just stopped this around 3 or 4 o'clock because, this continues to lift off to the northeast. And this is, every hour model run. But yeah, just kind of give you an idea. I mean, these parameters are significantly high, if not off the chart. So that's what the scary thing is about this. And there's plenty of potential in the atmosphere to fuel these thunderstorms. I mean, in a normal thunderstorm, you're only looking at like 500 JKGs, amounts of energy in the atmosphere, and we're like 3,000, maxing out at 3,200. So yeah, there's plenty of fuel, 5-6 times a normal rate of a thunderstorm. So supercells, updrafts, helicity values. I mean, a lot of the parameters are coming together for a significant day. Even your supercell composite index as well. I mean, the same thing. We're getting, inputs of 29 here and in parts of Alabama here. So this is it's a scary day that's going to be on the table as this continues lifting off into the northeast as we go throughout the day on Thursday. So as we go through the day on Thursday, getting into the nighttime hours, like I said, this is going to be a fast-moving event. And these things are going to be racing across 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. So you're going to have little to no warning with these particular systems as they're going to be popping up and then training over a lot of the same areas. And you can see the feeder band back behind it. But I stopped the radar around 11 o'clock Thursday night, getting into Friday morning. This thing already continues to shift into parts of Georgia, getting into some of the Carolinas, parts of eastern Tennessee by now. That'll get into West Virginia and parts of Virginia as this low continues in a comma-shaped swirl, continues to press northward, losing a lot of its severe activity as it continues to press further north as it's tapping into some of that colder air, coming in from the north. So as we go into the day on Friday, so let me kind of just, take you back and kind of go through the rest of the week for you. Here's that same low as we go into Friday morning. That'll be up, racing off into the mid-Atlantic states already, dumping some more rain for you guys up there into Pennsylvania, New York, all on the coast and the I-95 corridor. There is a pocket, could have some snow in the upper peninsula of Michigan here. Kind of a changeover around the Great Lakes region as this continues to press and matches up with the timing of the coldest part of the day on Friday. As yet we have a new system, trying to pull in down from the into the Rockies with more snow for you guys. But as on Sunday, like I said, that same system continues to press further north. we kind of wind down and kind of reset for Saturday. There's not too much activity happening for Saturday. But as we go into the day on Sunday, that same little clipper system will come across again, dumping more rain down to parts of southern Texas, getting into Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Again, a lot of these areas will get there's plenty of rain for you guys coming up on the table. This is into Sunday. As we try to have some colder air pressing in from the north, you can see these blue lines, and then might transfer for a little bit of snow in parts of the Northeast, especially as you get into Maine. As you go into the day on Sunday, and then Monday, that same system will be over Maine, dumping some snow for them as we turn our attention up here to the Pacific Northwest, and that's our cool down that we've been kind of talking about towards the end of the month. That'll bring some more snow by then on Monday for the Pacific Northwest, getting into Idaho. And as we go into the day on a Tuesday morning, those blue lines continue to press further southward. We have a cool down towards the end of the month, so it's gonna feel nice as we go towards the end of the month. We just have to get there, and as we get there, you can definitely see the colder anomalies by the 30th here, as we have well below average temperatures of 10, 15, almost 20 degrees below average here for the Pacific Northwest, getting into the central U.S., and that will continue to press southeast as we go to the end of the month on the 31st. That'll be over Texas. It'll be over Missouri, getting into parts of the central U.S., some of the Ohio Valley. And then as we go into, April 1st, that continues to press down to the southeast, which a pretty good cool down for the southeast. So that's going to be a welcome relief after you've been, inundated with system after system after system and mugginess. So this cool down is going to be definitely going to be feeling really nice by then as we go towards the end of the month and start the first part of April. And then look at the wind swath. I mean, yeah, this is one of those things that's going to be some very high winds, not just today, but continuing as this active, very low-level jet. So here's the swath. I mean, I know a lot of people travel. I got a lot of truck drivers. So here's the next 5 to 6 days of your wind swath of some of the higher gusts. I mean, anywhere in this red shaded area, you're talking 60, almost 70, 80 mile per hour winds at times in parts of Illinois and Ohio, getting into Pennsylvania, parts of the Northeast. So some very high winds. They even got high wind watches and advisories right now for up there, as some of those active systems will be coming across. And even in the Northwest starting next week, with that other system coming down, yeah, you can still pick up those 60 and 70 mile per hour winds in much of Idaho, much of Montana, getting into Wyoming, getting into the Four Corners regions where it's going to be the most active, some of your higher wind gusts. There's going to be plenty of precipitation around. I mean, there's just going to be inundated with some very heavy rain down to the southeast. Here's Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, the Panhandle. Much of Florida is fairly dry. But as you get up into Kentucky and Tennessee and parts of Virginia, you're going to be seeing those 2 to 4 inch, if not 6 to 8 in parts of rain just over the next, 5 to 6 days. And then parts of, the Northeast as well, a good 2 to 4 inch swath for them, as it's really dry down here in California, out here in the West. And it's still active for the Pacific Northwest into Washington and Oregon here, as we kind of dry out west for over the next 5 to 6 days. So hey, I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video. Definitely be safe out there. Listen to your watches and warnings later on today. I appreciate it. Leave your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to catch the latest update where I protect you before and after the storm.